really this approaching towards the truth and towards God in the Baha'i faith, I've seen it, it's to be three ways, three types, three procedures. First of all, a person has to become Baha'i, without which it is impossible for him to get anywhere. Jesus says, I am the gate, through me you can go. In the Baha'i faith, you have to go through Baha'ullah, because beyond him is oblivion, beyond him is utter nothingness. It's like you're in the space. He is the safe distance away from the sun. If you pass the earth, you're going to burn. If you go further away, you're dark. On the sun, from the sun, safe distance away, it is manifestation where the life is coming. Sun is not manifestation of life in Venus, in Mercury, or in Mars or other, only in Earth. So it's a distance. You can't just go on your own to God. You think you can understand it. It is impossible. God very well says no. For that, he has made a procedure by using us, ourselves, one of us, as manifesting unto him, using him to send us the message. As I said, Baha'u'llah is like the webcam, God on the webcam of the computer. He is the only God that is possible to understand, beyond which is not understandable. One can go, it's going to be all oblivion, it's going to be all despair, it's going to be all not a spiritual at all. So all of this going towards God and whatnot is not to becoming independent from Baha'u'llah, because there is no God except Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah is the God, but he's in the computer. So you can't say there are thousands of suns because there are thousands of mirrors. All these pictures of sun in the mirror is only indicating of one sun, but the sun reflects in thousands of mirrors. So there are thousands of mirrors, there's only one sun. Therefore, there are many persona of God named Adam, Moses, Jesus, and whatnot, and many to come. Baha'u'llah is one of them. He is the only God that we can understand. It's a translation of God on earth. So you can't say that, God, I don't like your translation on the computer. I don't understand it, I don't like it. So you're disputing with him. You're saying that you're disputing that with God to say that he's not having a good manifestation there. You want to be one? Go ahead. Many tried. This is why Baha'u'llah left at one point, because there were 26 people, they were thinking they are the manifestation of God. Baha'u'llah says, thank you very much. If you guys want to do the burden that's on my shoulder, you want to do it, you're welcome. You do it, I follow you. But none of them could, because they're just simply, they don't have the capacity to download the program of God, you know. So they asked Bob, His Holiness the Bob, how many ways there are towards God? He says, as many as there are people. Surely there are millions and billions of people. Everyone has a unique way to come towards God. But this pertains to becoming towards the Baha'i faith. Yes, people are becoming Baha'i from so many different backgrounds, from all parts of earth. You know, poor, rich, Christian, Muslims, any kind. But once you come to the Baha'i faith and you come to this University of Baha'u'llah, you got the admission. After that, this diversity kind of dies down. It's like a pyramid. From the bottom is big, but as you go up, up, and up, and up, you know, then people have similar ways of doing things, similar. There are a lot of affinities and a lot of similarities. So, the procedure one is that, where there are many ways, it's to understand Baha'i faith. You can take the 7 valleys. You can take many, many ways you like. Surely you have a desire in your heart, and then, you know, you fall in love, and then you reach an understanding, and you find yourself in unity with that truth, and you come in there, and you leave everything else behind in order to understand it, and to you enter in a state of confusion, and then finally you might create a connections. That's what the seven valleys is. So, but after you come into the Baha'i faith, the second step or the second procedure starts. Again, you have to start. Now I did everything to come to university. Now I'm in university. Things start from the scratch again. I'm again at point one. I have to go up. In here, Shawi Effendi really says that I like these things when it becomes practical, when it becomes real, when it becomes understandable, tangible, and not mystified, in the way that some people, they like to mystify the truth. And out of that, a lot of opportunities, they are lurking to find people are confused, and they come right in there to say, hey, I know the way. Because when confusion occurs, that's where the stores opens for those who like to get rich by using the confusions of people. Shawi Effendi, demystified, says there are two types of Baha'is. Some of them are followers, some of them are teachers. Okay, if you enter the Baha'i faith and you follow the rule of Baha'ullah, understand it, and follow it and observe it and become it, okay, you're a good follower. You can stop at this point. You're a Baha'i. Or you can go further up. Shaykh Effendi says, there the follower turns into a teacher. And he says, I hope all the Baha'is from being follower become a teacher. Now when you become a teacher, now not only you yourself came to the university, now you want to get out of the university and find people that are not coming to university, attract them, and you're going to help God. You're going to become his helper. You want to work for God, you see. That's a little bit different now. This is when the third procedures start. Okay? We can explain it millions of different ways. One of them is these videos. I believe in other 7 different type of 7 valleys. As I explained it before to you, I believe essentially we have our desires comes from animalistic desires that creates good moods. Then it kicks the habit. Habits, as we do it, creates an ethics in us. Then we like it so much, we keep doing it. And it creates a spiritual deed as a result of it. Then we gain spiritual attributes. And once our attributes becomes more than 50%, we create a connection. But connecting to the internet, to God. Which in this case, by God, I mean Baha'ullah, I mean manifestation of God. God beyond Baha'ullah in the Baha'i faith is actually a very useless topic. Baha'ullah says it's useless to talk about God where he's outside of being and nothing. It is impossible for us at any point of time to know it. We're like Mickey Mouse and he's like Walt Disney. Mickey can never understand Walt Disney. The best can Walt Disney do to make his own characters, come inside and shake the hand of Mickey. And that would be the manifestation of Walt Disney. Pictures himself into the cartoon world. That's only what we know of God. We can understand God is a cartoon of God, a character of God, a picture of God. That would be Baha'u'llah. So we know him as Baha'u'llah, but this is not the reality of Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah is well beyond understanding again. But that's the will of God, Baha'u'llah, we can see. So, let me summarize it again. So first of all, as a non-Baha'i, we have to be able to follow goodness in our heart, taqwa, detachment. We should know what's wrong, okay? And then we should try to understand that we're not happy, our people are not happy, the planet is not happy. And we have the urgency of humanity that we want to solve this problem. And then when we look, we see the politicians cannot do it, the philosophers can't do it, scientists can't do it. It's just still something is lacking, that we're not happy. Then you understand there are beings called prophets of God. And when you study in them, You find the prophets of the past, they're not going to be working, because when the followers of the Islam and Christianity come together, they create havoc. So then you end up inventing something of your own, or see there is something already happening. In my case, I already saw there was a Baha'i faith. I would have invented it myself. But I saw there's a Baha'i faith. Of course, I said, that's great. So this is the solution. We need a center of gravity that can unite and attract all the people. So these barriers and the differences that we have gets converted into that, like a transfer station, like an adapter, that Christians can use the adapter and connect to a Muslim via Baha'i faith. And then the peace and tranquility comes. When I came to that part, then I became a Baha'i. But when I became a Baha'i, journey just began. I just got that mission. To begin with, I have to follow everything Baha'u'llah says. Teach the faith of God, to be detached, all the things that I've told you. Now, once you're doing these things, you become a good follower. Now, from a good follower, you have to become a good teacher, as Shoghi Effendi says. Join Baha'u'llah in his effort. Try to help your brothers. You become the older brother that Baha'u'llah could use you to help the other children in the planet. So, then, one way to explain the procedures from teacher to from followers to become teacher, one of them is explanations of Baha'u'llah's 7 valleys. Although, just as I told you that, this is an Islamic procedures that was never perfected by the Muslim. There are many contradictions in what they've said. They haven't explained it well. Some of them, they thought the whole world is God. We and God are the same. Some of them were saying that Satan is made by God too, therefore Satan is good too. They would not know even the definition of what is really bad, what is the Satan. So Baha'u'llah, as one of the mission of the Baha'i faith, is not, as Shoghi Effendi says, eradications of the religions of the past, but more to try to explain it, what the real face and the reality of Islam and Christianity is for those who like to stay Muslims and Christians. There are ways to explain those religions that they become connecting to us. However, for the others that they find in others no way that they want to be Muslims and Christian like myself, I would be insulted that I'm dealt with by God the way he dealt with the Romans 2,000 years ago or 1,400 years ago, the way he dealt with the Arabs. I'm living in the 20th century. Therefore, I need Baha'i faith, I felt. So, I'm going to read these 7 valleys and try to explain it as fast as I can. And the first valley is the valley of search, okay? Which is translation has become the search. This translation is not of Shoghi Effendi. Even the valley of search should be translated as the valley of seeking, okay? So it says, the state of this valley is patience. Without patience, the wayfarer on this journey will reach nowhere and attain no goal, nor should he ever be downhearted if he strive for 100,000 years and yet fail to behold the beauty of the friend. He should not fall.